What's going on, people? So, it's one of those live unboxing days, right? And here's the box. Let me find this knife over here, then we can jump on into things. You know what I'm saying? So, this is going to be something that came from StockX, which I don't know. I've been buying a lot of, well, I won't say I've been buying a lot of stuff from them, but I've bought more stuff from them lately than I have in like a while, right? But for whatever reason, the things that I happen to be kind of interested in have been cheap, right? Which is often the case, honestly. I tend to be into a lot of stuff that most people just seem to not care so much about. Or maybe I'm just like so late to the party on some of these things. Because this is a pair of dunks, right? There was a time when dunks were a thing that people were super into. Now it seems like it's just, I don't know, like no different than buying like an Air Max or something. The box is, it's been in better condition or whatever, but not gonna get too big of a deal on that, right? So there you go, Dunk Low, 9.5, and some StockX nonsense going on over there. Let's see what's happening in here. And he says, "Yo, does your StockX order take long to arrive?" Let's see. Let's look up the timeline while we got some time here. I mean, I'm not in a hurry, and you seem like you have a pretty decent question. You get a lot of dumb questions, I'll be honest. You know what I'm saying? But that one, because that's a thing that actually matters that I don't think I normally talk too much about. So let me find out where this is. The order verify thing shipped. Okay, so on the 23rd, right, of June, that's when the order was confirmed. So there's that piece of it. Then the seller shipped it out to StockX on the 25th. So 2 days later, they verified it the same day. And then it was shipped out to me on the 29th. So 4 days after they verified it, they shipped it over to me. And then today is the second. So 29, so 31 and 2. So then 3 days. So all in all, I think I said the 25th was when that order was made, something like that. I just lost that. But yeah, somewhere around there. So that's not too bad, right? Yeah, excuse me, the 23rd. The 23rd is when it was overall created, the order, and then to be received today. So just about a week, right? So, I mean, I don't think that that's a long time. I don't know what your experience may have been. I do feel like I've received some things quicker, but originally when I got the tracking number for these, it said this coming Friday was when they were going to be delivered. So they're actually like earlier than they like had originally estimated. So there you go. Take from that whatever you want to. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into this thing here. You might remember I picked up the purple pair, which I should have brought out because like they're right there, but I'm not going to get them now. It's too late. What's done is done. But I do have that Donatello pair. I got those straight from Nike, I think. I don't know. I don't remember where those came from, but I did a review about it, and I probably said in there where I got them. So now I'm looking at this pair. Everything looks to be fine. Off the top, I think I like the other pair more, even though this was the pair that I wanted more. So that's kind of not a letdown, but whatever. So yeah, things look like they're fine. Let's go ahead and knock out a half-hearted review on these right here. This is the Nike Dunk Low in the Michelangelo colorway. Yeah, I know it has a different name, but I don't know what that name is. Down across the bottom, that's what you're looking at down there. Got not quite a yellow, kind of like a mustardy, goldenrod, something sort of color going on, right? That's what's happening. And you see a little bit down there on the midsole too, but it's mostly going to be all whited out on both sides, of course. There's not a whole lot of flare going on down there. But then when you look at the upper is actually pretty decent. I mean, the materials aren't anything that you'd probably like run home and tell all your friends about, but they're pretty okay for like 100 and something dollars. Speaking of, I want to say I'm very sure that my bid for these was 115, and then it came out to like 135, 140 with all the shipping and taxes and whatever other fees. It's kind of like buying from Ticketmaster. You look at some low price thing, and then all of a sudden it's like $1 million to see the chili peppers or something. So, anyways, moving back to this right here. So there you go. There's that on the top side, suede. On the lower side, more suede. In the middle area, you guessed it, some suede. Though on the top back area, you have some of that. Was it like ballistic mesh? I think is the word that Logan J usually calls this. Is that focusing? Kind of, sort of, right? So it's like a hard mesh kind of deal. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And then above that, more suede with a little bit of the stitched on Nike. So you got that happening. Down on the inside, that's what's going on down there. Not a whole lot, right? Standard insole that you'll get on stuff like this, I believe. And then sock liner is going to be just like that. Same stuff you see on a lot of like Air Max type shoes and things like that. So there you go. Also on the tongue, in case anybody's curious, it's kind of made like the back of the shoe. So you have that, I want to say ballistic mesh is the word I'm supposed to use there. So there you go. There's all that stuff and some nice colored laces. Laces do seem to like pop out a bit more than one might guess or whatever, because they're more in line with like the color on the bottom, right? Which I thought this was all going to be kind of the same, like the swoosh, but the swoosh is kind of like a faded version of these. If you just took these and ran them through the wash and used some of that cheap laundry detergent that doesn't like stop the colors from fading, yeah, I feel like that's how this would look. But there you go. There's that. I'm going to slip these things on real quick because I honestly don't remember what these things fit like. People sometimes ask me questions about shoes and stuff, that I reviewed or whatever, and I get it, right? It seems like a thing that makes sense, right? But the thing is, I never have answers because like once the review is over, it's like I still own the shoes, but I might not touch them again for like months, maybe a year or two, in some cases, right? Which is kind of crazy. So I generally have like no answer for them. Oh yeah, this is fine. It's a pretty good fit, at least to me. Not a whole lot of room going down on in the toe box and whatever, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. They might break in just a little bit over time. I mean, it's kind of like a rigidish material or whatever, but most things over time break in, right? It's just kind of how that works. But if you're concerned, then obviously, going up a half size might be a thing that you should do. But I'm going to be fine with the true to size situation. And then over here, that's one of the black light thing. So you do have that, right? Like the stockx thing. But if you shine a little black light on there, you see like the X in there. So there's that. There's a better view of that. So that's what's going on with that. On the other side, it's just the standard X, right? So there you go. We've done it, people. We have hit all the things I needed to say in this review, which is kind of crazy because we're only at 7.5 minutes, and I had to actually unbox this thing and go over this whole backstory about how long it took, which makes you wonder, why are my videos normally so long? Well, it's because I ramble on about things a lot that don't always matter, and so that's how that happens, right? Could I make them shorter? Obviously, yeah. And I don't make them long for this reason, but one thing I'm going to bring up though is like if your videos are under 8 minutes, you can't put like ad blocks in there, ad breaks in there, right? Which honestly doesn't really matter to me, but it seems like if you don't have longer videos, then YouTube doesn't care to push them as much. So my stuff is already like not popular, so then I'm making it less popular. But I've been living 42 years and I know a thing or two about not being popular, let me tell you that. So whatever, right? But that's just some information for people who care to have random background information. I'm going to read some comments, and then I'm going to read possibly more comments if more pop up. And then I'm going to close this thing out. And then I'm going to walk away because I need to practice some songs, right? Break out the old bass. So there's that. So let's go see what's going on in here. Because when I buy from them, it takes a while. He's answering a question from many minutes ago that I asked. Yeah, I could see that. I guess it depends on where you live and where things are shipped to, because if the person selling the shoe is in like say Georgia, I think they'll send it to like Atlanta for their verification. But then if you live out in like Iowa or something, then you got to wait a little bit longer. So I guess it depends on who is actually selling you the shoe as far as how long it could take, right? Because I mean, to me, FedEx is pretty standard as far as like delivery things go. I haven't had any issues with them. They've always been pretty on point as far as what their estimations are. But yeah, I think that would be the X factor in there. And then that's a great price for those. I mean, I like to think it was a good price, but that's just because it was under retail. I figured these just came out on the Nike thing, right? Because I think it was 2 days later or something. And so I'm like, okay, well, if they're saying these are like 120, I'll put in 115. It put me at the number one bid. I figure somebody is going to accept this as a fine enough price. They probably had these things for months, thinking that, oh, I'm going to make a bunch of money on them. And now they're just like, okay, well, I'll just take what I can get, right? And so here we are, which is cool for me. Can we see the purple pair? Since you asked nicely, I mean, you didn't. You didn't put a please in there, but I know you. So give me a second. Okay. Now we can break out this purple pair real quick, which actually, Foot Patrol. Huh. Well, that's unexpected. I assumed I got these from Nike. That means I paid some money for these. Conversions and such, right? Does it say on here? 136 rounding up, because it's 135.99 Great British pounds. I don't know what that is right now, but when I lived in England, a pound was like $1.75, right? It was not great, people. It was not okay. It was such an expensive time to be alive, but it was, it was cool. A lot of shows I got to see and stuff. A little bit of traveling and whatnot too. So here we go. This one right here is the purple one. It's called the veneer, from what I recall. This one right here is the other one. That's not called the veneer because it has a different name. But I call these Michelangelo and Donatello for obvious reasons because I'm a Ninja Turtles guy. Now I will say this, looking at these together now, I honestly did not know that they were different shades of green. I thought they were both the same because I'd only seen pictures and I'd only seen the pictures individually, right? So that kind of just blows my mind. Even the brown is different, right? So I thought it was just going to be the same overall thing, like a slightly different like color block type of thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Because like what Jordan 1s do all the time. But no. So I guess it's a good thing you said to break these things out because I would have just gone on thinking it was all the same. And now I think I'm gonna. It's a little tough of a call at this point. I was leaning towards this one, and I still kind of am, but these don't look bad either. And I am partial to like yellow and yellowish type colors, so there is that. I'll have to get back to you on which one I truly think is the best one now that I'm actually looking at both of them because I just don't have an answer right now. But I do want to say this one. I want to. I'm just not going to. All right, what else is going on in here? Wait, you lived in England. This guy, very interesting. Yeah, they got me for 2 years of my life from 2014 to 15. No, 2013 and 2014. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that was a thing. But whatever. I mean, I'm not super interesting. I think a lot of people have lived in England, right? I mean, I don't know. All right, what else we got going on here? That's it. Cool, fantastic. That means I can move on because, like I said, got to go get these things warmed up. Play some, I don't know, probably some Blink 182, some MXPX or something. That'll kind of, it's like a workout. You warm up and stuff, and then once your mind is going, then you start learning the new stuff. So gotta doing some covers with some people soon. So gonna see how that whole thing works out. That's the plan right now. That's the plan right now. All right. Thanks for showing up, people. I appreciate you stopping in while I talked about whatever these things are called. Do appreciate that. But I like to keep these things short and to the point. And now we have gone about 7 minutes past the overall usefulness of this. No, there was that color comparison. So I guess there was some actual value in there after the fact too. But now I'm done. So from me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I saw a nice on there and I read it as I was saying that. And so that just threw the whole thing off. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. So thanks again, people. I do sincerely appreciate it. I know I make a lot of jokes about how there's better things to do, and I do mean that. But it is also pretty nice and still mind-boggling that people actually show up and listen to me talk about stuff. I just, that's a hard thing to wrap my mind around. It really is. You know what I'm saying? Going back to that whole like not being popular thing. Whatever. Later, people. I'll catch up with you at some other point. I have, I think I do have a live thing coming up. Or do I? No, I don't. I have actual videos coming up. So I don't know when I'll be doing another live, though. I don't even have anything on order. I'll figure it out later. Later, people.